I can go on a lot about this Mega Boost, so we'll stop right there. I'm gonna go ahead and jump into, let's do Tom Wright first, yeah? That's Ragnarez in the chat, I believe. So if you want to direct any questions to him about choices he made or anything else, feel free. He's right there. So I'll bring it across you. Tom Wright sound. Look at this page! Oh my god, I love it. Good. Instantly great. I'm gonna kill off this fanboy much. Yo, Matt, I will make no apologies for being enthusiastic and passionate about the industry of my choice, alright? I'm so pumped that I can be working alongside folks like that. That's very, very cool. Alright, so Tom is in the chat right now, along with all you fine folks. Tom Wright sound. Look at this image. Look at this. Are you seeing this right now? I'm gonna zoom in, make sure I have a good kind of... That's pretty good, right? How about that? Nice, alright. This image. Game audio specialist, I believe you. This is hilarious, I love it. Okay, we got demo reel, services, media, projects, about, gear, testimonials, contact. Cool. Demo reel right away. I usually say demo reel first. It's right here first. This being first is amazing, though. I love it. All right. Cool. Services, good. Oh, it's like a vertical page. So you can like do this and it goes down the list. I see. All right. I got it. Okay, media, some wise stuff. Okay, cool. Projects, looks good. About me, here he is. All right, professional sound designer based in the UK. After graduating from university with a BA in creative music technology, I have been creating a name for myself, this is one word, in the independent game development scene. I have been the audio director for games such as War of Wright and No Room in Hell, as well as being the sound designer in a selection of other independently developed games such as Days of War, Skywind, and many more. Got it. Yeah, university. This felt... I paused there because it was capital U, so I was expecting like the University of something, but just made me pause. Hey Rio, what's up? Rio, also based in the UK. Good to see you, man. Experience working with industry professionals. I have been fortunate enough in my career to be given the opportunity to work alongside industry professionals from companies such as Ubisoft, Bethesda, and Crytek. I focus on utilizing my knowledge in both sound creation and audio implementation to provide a clean cinematic and or realistic audio experience. My specialties are in the action and fantasy genres. However, given the opportunity, I would be more than qualified to create audio for any genre. Yo. Okay, and gear. Cool, for the audio nerds in the room. Check out what he uses. Good stuff. And this has an H, by the way. Shure. S-H-U-R-E, I believe. Am I correct about this? I'm now doubting myself. I'm pretty sure that's correct, though. Yes. Yes, it does. Sure. Okay. Free consultations. Good. Testimonials. Always good. A few here. Good stuff from Lever, from Osiris, from Campfire, from Octoshark. Cool. Contact. Good stuff. Yeah, I like details like that, Tom. That's all. I mean, obviously this isn't like freaking typo talk. We're not talking about grammatical errors and stuff so much, but as we've said before on other streams, it's the kind of thing where the more you tighten up everything you possibly can tighten up, the less there can be for anybody else to notice anything like that. Because the thing is, if you mess up on small details like that, people might then wonder, oh, how far do the details go? You know, like what else have they missed? Does that kind of attention to detail extend into their work in audio, which is a very easy kind of conclusion to draw, right? So it can't possibly hurt to tighten up stuff like that, you know? All right, so then we're getting into, I won't read through all this stuff, but fair enough, cool. Good to go. Services, you do it all, we get it. So let's look at the demo reel, yes? I'll play this. I have my volume at full, I believe. Yes, I do. I'll press play, I'll mute my mic temporarily, and we'll go. Oh, right away, here you go, Matt. 222. It's bold, it's bold. So what you got?
3, 2, 1, fight!
This is the United States National Guard.
Yeah, I probably would too, Matt. So here's the first thing we gotta do. Thank you. That seemed quiet. Why was that quiet? Oh, well. I think that was like right on the cusp of tapping out. Like I was more willing to watch because we're on stream right now, but I think you could easily cut all that content in half. Easily. I don't think it needs to be 220. You know? So let's have a look here. And by the way, for those of you joining us for the first time on Real Talk, we look at a few criteria here. We look at presentation, which is in terms of the whole site, the flow of the reel, the length of the reel, all this stuff. How it looks, if it's bookended nicely, if it's got good titles, all this stuff. Material selection is the stuff in it, and how that might affect your chances of being hired. The content quality is, of course, if the stuff that you chose to be in there is actually good. And then distinction is anything that sets you apart from others in your field. So we'll do presentation first. Right away, I was saying 220 is needlessly long, honestly. It was double the length last week. Oh my god. So, okay, well, first off, good on you for trimming it down, because 442 is comical. That's way too long. So let's break it down here.St off, I'd recommend you have this at the very end. You've got the Tom Wright sound and Tom Wright at sound.tomwright@gmail.com. Cool. I think you could put this at the beginning too, just real fast. Boom, like 1 second. You know, just have it. Tom Wright, fade out to this right away. People can pause. They can be like, "Oh, what was it again?" Back to the beginning and pause, and they can see your info there. Like we always say, you want to make it as easy as possible for someone to contact you. So just paste it around. It doesn't hurt. No one's going to be like, "Oh, what the hell." If you put it like flashing on and off throughout the video, that might be a little bit weird, but bookended is good. It's tasteful. Just contact info, real contact info. Okay? As far as what I would cut, well, okay, here we go. So what we got? We got from the beginning, we had the same game through until... Here's the fade out right here, right? So 30 seconds or so? Okay, 34 seconds. You don't need that. Take every shot you have here. I love this, by the way. This is sick. That's very, very cool. I've never seen that before, and it's awesome. Just showing you're like right in the trenches with the recording and such. Can't see all of it here. There we go.
On me!
So,
Incoming artillery!
like all this walking, I get it. You know, it's enough. It's totally enough. And like you have the assets, you could probably just fake it to make that incoming artillery play later. Just cut the first 5 seconds off that, play incoming artillery, and then boom, you're done. Or just don't have this shot at all. I like that kind of start and finish though, and I like that you transitioned out on that moment. That's cool. I like that. That was nice and smooth. But 34 seconds, like cut it at 15, cut it at 20. You don't need all that. Next up, this is crazy. So this is a game where you like slide around in first person? It's crazy. It looks really interesting. Do you just slide forever until you say stop? Is that how this game works? Double action boogaloo. I'm down. I like it. Okay, so that shot. Here we go. We have, how long is this shot? We've got, so it's like 34 seconds until about 51. Okay, so you can probably cut that by a third or something. You can cut all these things by a third, and you still have more you can cut. I'd recommend endeavoring to get down to a minute. I know that you want to show a lot of good stuff, but like we say again and again, I'm going to guess that you have more here. Or if they want to see more of the game, they can look up the game. You know, they can look up the trailer, they can look up a gameplay video. They don't need to see all of it right here. If you just pack it full of all your best stuff, no one's going to be like, oh, only that much? And if they do think that, awesome, they're going to hire you. If they think, I want to hear more than this, what else have they done? This is badass. They will get in touch, and they will tell you they want to hear more. So don't feel like you need to show them everything. It's not going to help you anymore. All right, so then, carrying to the next one, we got a lot of gunfire. The thing is, I will say right away as well that like gunfire in first-person shooters is not something I've done a ton of. I've read a lot on it, and I've played a bunch of first-person shooters, but I have not designed a ton of it myself. So I'm not like the best person to comment on the quality of the gunfire. I think Matt's done a bit. I might be wrong about that though. But like this would be a great example of something that's, if we had a guest host who was like a AAA veteran to drop in and be like, oh, I have some insight that Kevin Regmi doesn't have. Of course, I'm not so proud to think that I know it all. Of course not. Sounds good to me though. I'll say that. So we'll go into Lego now. This is cool because it's not a first-person shooter with gun sounds. It's nice. So we'll carry on from here. This is how much? We got about, okay, so like 52 to, yeah, this is like 15, 20 seconds here. A little more than that, maybe 25 seconds. You don't need all that. Carry on. We got like 121 until 140, another 20 seconds. You can do 10 seconds of all of these. No problem. And the wise thing, you have more wise stuff down here. And like Matt says, my next point as well is going to be that you could probably break out, or break apart the gun stuff, because it's like, hey look, not to like downplay your work, 'cause this is really cool that you're recording and such. It's really good work. And the whole like flint musket is pretty sick. We have this gun stuff and all the running, and then you have more gun stuff and more running. This is vastly different. And then here, we have more gun stuff, but it's like different. It's got the zombies and stuff, and you have this zombie thing going on, the axe. I would, if you're gonna include this title, I would lean away from the gun stuff. So first, considering that you're dialing everything down, right? So let's say you have like 25 seconds of zombie stuff. Go to the 15 seconds that aren't guns, and put that like after the last bit or something. So it's like, oh, here's some gunfire in kind of an older era. Then here's Lego stuff, vastly different. Then back to some sliding around and some newer gun stuff. And then into zombie stuff, which is like the sound of the zombies, the sound of the watermelon splatting, the sound of all these things that aren't guns. And I think that would show just more variety. Because the stuff that you're showing is strong. You know, it's not like you need to be desperate to find something that sounds good. Like there's a lot of stuff that sounds good in here. The watermelon drop is sweet though. People love that. People love that so much, man. Like, look at this. If I show you our website, let's go to team. Let's go to our good pal Gordon McGladdery with a Shell in the Pit audio, if it'll load for us. Please site. Please power up audio. Fix your damn site. There we go. So Shell in the Pit audio. Here you go. People love this. People comment it all the time. It's on his business card. They love the idea of smashing fruit to make sounds, so that's awesome. Like, I work in audio and I love it. Like, who doesn't love smashing fruit? So, we'll go into the next bit here, into Wise. Cool! Of course, this is awesome to show. We already know you're doing this stuff because you're making this stuff for the games. But I know you're saying down at the very bottom here. Here we go. I would be more than qualified to create audio for any genre. But unfortunately, your reel isn't really expressing that right now. It's kind of showing a lot of gun stuff. So if you want to not pigeonhole yourself, and the thing is, I believe you. Like, I think that you certainly can move beyond this because you obviously have a lot of experience that would be usable in other fields or other genres of games. I assume that's the case. I probably safely assume it. But if you want to show it, you could do a redesign. You know, redesign something like Trine, like Mauricio did last week. You could do things like that show like, oh, here's a medieval game. I didn't do it, but here's like, I'm saying I can do anything, and here's me kind of putting my money where my mouth is and making it sound sweet. I redesigned The Witcher. I redesigned whatever. That might be worthwhile. I mean, it would be nice if you could just work on a game like that and show it that way. But if you aren't so lucky to land a gig in a kind of more magic and medieval kind of tone, then maybe it's worth just doing it yourself and being like, I want to do more stuff like this. Here it is. This is fun. I did this for fun. That's not worthless information or worthless content to include. In fact, if like as somebody working, I mean, I can't speak for everyone in the audio industry, obviously, but as somebody working in audio, I can tell you it's very hard to find time to do audio stuff for fun also on the side. So if you do audio for fun also on the side, and you're also working in audio, obviously, that is almost just as valuable as somebody who's not working at all and doing it for fun, because finding time can be so difficult. So it's like, oh, cool, he's also like really into this other thing too. That's really awesome. So, like Matt, I'll read what Matt's saying here. I read it earlier as well. But he was talking about pigeonholing guns, cut the guns, leave watermelon, break up guns. There's a lot of guns. So he says, don't reinforce that you're an all guns guy. I totally agree. Show with your skills. And hey, Kez, good to see you, man. Thank you for dropping in. And Matt says, I certainly see there's skill, but I'm thinking a bit pigeonholed for my viewing. I would hire for guns, but I wouldn't be as confident to hire you for something like fantasy or some like kids game or something kind of casual or social games, that kind of thing. I can totally see that. Absolutely. Might be the case. And with your career, it can be difficult to find something other than gun stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're good at it, so I can see why people want to hire you for it, right? But if you do, and the thing is, you're saying you would be qualified for other things here, right? Down here somewhere. You're saying you would be qualified. I don't know if that's something you want to do. So I'm speaking using this sentence as kind of, I'm assuming that you, by putting this here, that you want to work on more things. Maybe you're super happy doing guns forever. That might be the case. There's some guys who are extremely happy working on cars forever, you know? Like, who was that fellow? Track Time Audio, is that right? Track Time? I feel like Track Time... yeah, so David, right. This guy. So this fellow is the dude who put together the car Kickstarter campaign. The famous I will record cars Kickstarter. Or was it Indiegogo? I don't know, it was some crowdfunding thing. And this guy loves cars so much. And he will work on cars for a very long time, I assume. And he's very good at it. And he should keep doing it because he kills at it. Like I could not come anywhere close to the level of quality this guy throws into his vehicle recordings and implementation. And he's happy with that. But if you want to do this, if you want to do only gun stuff, then you're doing great. If you want to do more things, then you should explore doing it yourself. Because it seems like waiting for a hire might be something like a catch-22. The whole like, you know, I have no experience, can't get a job, and vice versa. But it's like more specifically, I have no experience in fantasy sounds, so I can't get a job in a fantasy game, and vice versa. So you may have to just do it yourself if you want to. But of course, that's only if you want to. Yeah. Okay, one of the first Kickstarter SFX libraries. Yeah, so funded his own car recording to learn it all. Like, he wanted to learn it, so he funded it himself. That's so awesome. And obviously the guy finds work. That's so freaking proactive, you know? Very, very cool. All right, so that's the gist. Beyond that, we're looking at content quality. We kind of talked about it plenty already, but there's a lot of good stuff here. And as far as what I heard there, as far as like the Wise implementation, it's obvious that you're doing field recording. It's obvious that you're making the game sound good, and it's obvious that that you're working in Wise. That's so cool. One thing in here that I picked up on right away, and I want to listen again because I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Lego Fighting Championship. Candyman versus Soccer Mom. 3. Lego Fighting Championship. Candyman versus Soccer Mom. 3, 2, 1. Fight!
Yeah, that. I hear an automation point. Do you hear it? The reverb on fight, guaranteed that was a printed reverb, and guaranteed the automation went like this and then up. Do you hear it? I heard it the first time and I was like, ugh, it's such an easy mistake to make, but you hear that? Boom, pop. A little pop at the end of the reverb tail. Such a non-issue, man. No big deal. But in general, this whole scene felt like it flowed kind of weird. Like the reverb is really loud compared to the main voice, and then so it's like Lego Fighting Championship, and it's kind of stylized to be cut like that, and that's fine. But with the reverb, it seems like it's kind of being obscured a bit, and I also feel like it's kind of trying to make the stadium feel or something, and I'm not really getting that. But
Championship.
Also, after championship, it kind of like cuts off on championship. You hear it?
Championship. Candyman.
And maybe that was like a video cut. I'm not sure what that was. But this whole intro felt like it flowed strangely to me. And then it went into this.
3.
And there was no ambience, which struck me as strange. And then this one here.
3, 2, 1.
And the ho, hey, ha ha. The first time I heard it, I wasn't sure what that was, if it was this guy, because the sound came from here. And so did this one. It came right in the middle. So after it played like for a few seconds, I was like, oh, I see. It's just like a perspective thing. So I'm not sure what's happening, like if you implemented this, or if it's like a trailer or something. But the panning was really weird here. So the...
1.
It's just everything is center. There's no ambience. The sounds are kind of cool, right? But the... But all the voices, they don't really feel like they're attached to the players, which is weird, because I'm pretty sure that the sound effects from the players are panned. Like, we listen to I think the footsteps were panned. Let's hear this. Yeah, it totally is. So what the heck? So there's like the da-da-da-da-da of the footsteps are indeed panned left to right, but the voices aren't? So is that like an implementation thing? The voices are in 2D and the rest is in 3D or something? So first off, you're here, so I want to ask you, is this a recording from in-game? Or is this a trailer or something, like a gameplay mock-up trailer? Yeah, I don't know. The Whittler says, it's empty like Robot Chicken. Yeah, totally. Which can be a thing, but it may, if this is in-game... Oh, it's a stop-motion video! Oh, my bad. I apologize. I totally ignored this. I just was thinking it's all game. My bad entirely. Okay, so it's like a animation. Yo, okay. I was thinking it was like a fighter game. It was like stop motion animation kind of thing, like in the game. But of course, I was kind of impressed actually. I was like, wow, this is a game, sweet. Okay, so yeah, the perspective is weird then. If we talk about perspective for a second, this is like... Okay, yeah, so Fancy Pants stop motion, got it. The voice stuff in general, the perspective is weird, and also it sounds a bit like it's in a room or something. Like the recording, the hey ho ha is. It definitely doesn't sound like it's in a street. That's for sure.
This is the United States National Guard.
I think that as far as stuff that is not gun first-person shooter stuff, I think that you could probably improve this. And if it's already like online, already done, you could just redo it, man. You could fix it and put it back up. I'm not gonna make a. I wouldn't look into that kind of thing, you know. As far as this goes, we talked about that already. And bookending. Cool. Good. Great. Distinction. What you've got is really great. This is distinction right here. I'll tell you what this is. That's distinction. That is so freaking cool. I love that this field recording cam is here. I love this pooch hanging out. Pretty rad. So that's it, man. I think that's enough for this reel. You wanted to ask some questions about branding too. So feel free to ask that as well in the chat if you want. Matt says, regarding material selection, showing games you worked on, which is great. Recording cam stuff is great. Absolutely. So cool. So cool. And this stuff here as well, having a nice big laundry list of stuff you've worked on. It's pretty rad. What is the deal here? Sound design on Skywind. Oh, is this the mod? Because Skyrim, of course, is the main one. Skywind? Here's a link. TES Renewal Project. Oh, the Elder Scrolls, of course. Yo, okay, yeah. This is like the bringing Morrowind into Skyrim or something. Is that what it was? I don't recall. Mist of Stagnation, at least on design, Mechs and Mercs, Estranged. You have all these things, man, but are they all older? Is that why you're not showing them? Catfight? Game of Gluttony? It must be that there's older things. I think I saw you say something in chat about that. That it was like older content, so you didn't want to show it in your reel. I mean, I certainly feel the same way about our stuff. I'm making a reel right now. I'm shipping away at it. A sizzle reel for our website. And I don't want to show, like, the first 10 games we did as Power Up because they're all forgettable. You know, they're all like... Or they're not even that they're all forgettable. I'm proud of the work we did on them, but they're just not as notable as stuff that is more current and more relevant, of course. So, they're old as hell. Yeah, okay. Well, cool, man. I mean, there's some good stuff here, certainly. I've heard of some of these games, so that's great. Sean thought it was Skyrim first. I saw Skyrim the first time rolling down it, but or scrolling down the page. But, yeah, it can't hurt to throw a mod on there. I mean, it's not like you're claiming it's Skyrim. It says Skywind right there. Anyway. So, yeah, feel free to ask about branding stuff, man. I'm going to move on to Alex Barnhart V2. I'm so excited, yo.